So those are just getting started in some mobilization principles. And then if you turn to the next page, we talk about a mobilization strategy. And the goal is to change the culture of your church by communicating the value of involvement in life-changing local and global activities. You actually want to change the culture of your church. That mission's no longer that strange thing for the select few, for the professionals, for the people that are paid to do it. You want it to be, it's something that involves a life change, something that is rewarding and exciting, and something that everyone can do. So what we do is we have a method for doing that. We create an intentional process for involvement, an intentional process. Just like step one in a healthy church has an intentional process for disciple making, there's an intentional process for mobilization. Do you realize there's a difference between recruiting and mobilizing? Recruiting is not a process. Recruiting is usually someone standing up in front of the church or putting something in front of people that says, this is what needs to get done. We want some of you to sign up. That's not mobilizing. Mobilization is an intentional process. Mobilization is about helping people discover what God's put on their heart. How can I help you discover what God's put on your heart? They're vastly different. And for your members, it feels very different because in recruiting, it feels very disconnected. It feels like, well, you don't really care about what I care about. You just need something done that you want done. Whereas in mobilization, they feel like you care about what I care about. You want to find out what God's put on my heart so I can pursue my passion. And those are radically different. So we say in point 2, understand the change process, that people need to move from apathy to advocate. People don't just wake up one day and just run out the door and say, I'm going to do mission now. It just doesn't happen that way. And we're going to start with where people are at. And some of them, honestly, are at a place where they don't really care. And it's not that their hearts are hard. It's just, I'm busy in life. I've got family. I've got work. I've got friends. I've got school. And I'm not thinking about it that much. And so they're just not active. That's what apathy is. Well, there's a change process to help people go from that with grace and patience to where they become passionate about something. And to do that, we use crawl steps to help our members find their mission passion. It's crawl steps, and we're going to look at what that is. And then we look for waves. Oftentimes, something happens. Let's say there's a huge disaster where people are greatly affected, and a lot of people say, I want to go and help. And it doesn't actually matter what the issue is, just helping them take those first steps is they go out and say, all I can do is go and hold somebody. I can help them clean out their house. I can help deliver food to them. A fire came through and destroyed things. And so we show up. And so when there's a wave, when something's created that a lot of people want to serve, take advantage of the waves and help people take those crawl steps. And we'll tell you what to do with that in just a second. 5th, build on the power of personal story. I want you to know the best mobilizers in your church are your members. And I'm not the best mobilizer in Saddleback Church because I'm paid to do this. The best mobilizers are the ordinary people who are out doing it and talking about, God's put this on my heart. I've been able to do this. I've worked with orphans. I've seen orphans get placed in homes. I've worked with the poor. I've helped people get out of poverty. I'm working among people that have mental health issues. I'm helping people that are HIV positive to get the care they need. I'm helping people who have been left behind in education get the tutorial they need, to get the help they need, to get the resources they need. And so it's their personal story that helps people in your church think, I can do that. I've got a passion like that. I want to go take a crawl step with them. And then access the power of a church-wide program. Later on, as you've gotten started and you've got piece works going and you've got leaders for those piece works, it's time to do something called a campaign where you involve the whole church, where everybody gets to participate for a few weeks. They get messages on the weekend about it. They get work in their videos or something in their small groups. They're able to talk about it and say, what can my first steps be? And so it's a way to get the whole church getting started. And there's some powerful campaigns that we can help you with if your church is interested. But it's a way to move from the few that are getting started to getting everybody into their first crawl steps. That doesn't mean everybody's going to stay involved for a while, because if they don't find something they're passionate about in that first crawl step, they need to take a couple more crawl steps before they find that passion.